Okay, Angelina, so you are the winner of Norway's Got Talent,
Yes.
and you were 7 years old when you won. Can you tell us what that moment was like?
It was amazing. It was like my dream come true.
Mm-hmm.
Because I always wanted to sing on a stage for all the people in the world. And I won the show, and it was unbelievable.
And your clips went viral on YouTube, so people like all over the world were seeing you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And in the years since, what have you been up to? Like I know you published a book.
I've tried, yes. So I published a book when I was 9 years old, and it's about why I'm barefoot on the stage. It's about when I was 6 years old. Do you want to hear the story?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, okay. So when I was around like 6, I was outside with my mom and my grandma, and then we were walking by the street, and then I saw a girl around like my age, and she had a weighting scale, and she was sitting on the ground, and she got money by like weighting people, and that was like kind of her job. And so I had to talk to her because she was so little and she was weighting people. And so we talked to each other and we became like friends. And so I gave my shoes to her because she was barefoot and she had scars on her feet and it was really cold. And so I give it to her and she's like, no, you don't have to give it to me, it's yours, and then you don't have shoes. And I said, no, you have to have the shoes. And she's like, when she has it on, she's like, oh, they're so nice. And so I tell her, what do you want to be when you're big? And she says, I want to be a doctor, but I can't because my parents, they passed away, and I have siblings. And then she told me, what do you want to be when you're big? And I said, I want to be a superstar and sing for the whole world. And she says that I'm going to pray for you. And that's why whenever I sing on the stage, I always remind about all the children that don't have any parents and clothes and shoes.
Wow, that's such an important story.
Yes.
And now that you are here in America on the Champions show, what is that feeling like to you to get the call to come back and perform in front of a whole different audience?
It feels really amazing because I get to sing for Simon for the first time, because since I was like so little, like 3 years old, I really wanted to sing for him, and like finally after 10 years I'm here.
Have you ever met him yet?
Oh, I've never.
Would you be scared to meet him, or
No,
kind
I'm
of
really excited. Yeah.
So if you happen to win, what would that mean to you? What would that feeling that, you know, the American audience has also embraced you mean?
Well, if I win the show, I definitely stay humble and do a lot of hard work and sing more and more.
Yeah. When they asked you to come back, did you say yes right away, or did you have to think about it?
I had to think about it, but yeah, I said yes.
Yeah. Well, we're glad you came back. Is there anything you can tell us about your performance?
I'm going to, it's like a secret about the song, but the song means a lot to me, and it's about that, it's like the hope, the fear in your life, and the hope about the fear is that you're going to lose somebody in your life, but still you have hope, and I love that song. It always reminds me about my grandpa that passed away about 1.5 years ago, and I wish he would be here and he would hear me perform and I could just hug him for just 1 second.
So, Dan, in the years since your season aired, how has your life changed?
In the years since, should I repeat the question?
You can do whatever you want.
Okay. Well, in the years since my first time on AGT, 2014, well, I've gotten more work. I've done more television and just done more gigs, you know, in general. So it's been an overall upward trajectory.
And do you get recognized on the street a lot?
I don't get recognized very often on the street, no.
I would totally recognize you.
Would you?
I'd be like, I wouldn't know your name, but I'd be like, you
Well,
were the comedian.
It
The
may
New
well
York
be
comedian.
that people recognize me insofar as they like. I think I know who that person is, but no. In terms of people coming up to me, almost never.
Yeah. I seem to remember Heidi Klum had some negative things to say about you.
Yes, she did.
What does that do to you as you're
well,
on
she had
stage?
negative things to say about my act, and you know, you try to separate that from the personal. She just felt that some of my jokes were offensive. I don't agree that they were, but that was her opinion.
I don't agree either.
Yeah, I don't think her opinion is shared by most people. I don't think that, you know, maybe people didn't like it, but they didn't think it was funny. But I don't think people were offended.
And when you're on stage like that, live in front of America, how do you keep your composure? How do you stop from screaming back, no, it's not offensive?
Well, if you watch the video, I'm not sure that I did keep my composure. And in that,
I
if you
think
look
you
at my
did.
face, my face was like a little strained. Like I didn't yell and scream. I think I might have said I didn't find it offensive. I don't know. I was kind of in a state of shock because I never expected that. You know? I expected a judge to maybe say, well, I didn't connect with the material, but you know, best of luck. But I didn't expect that. So you know, so I think I was a little bit shocked, to be honest.
A comedian has never won America's Got
Right,
Talent.
yes, comedian has never won.
What would that mean if you were the first?
If I were the first to win it, well, you know, it'd be a big deal. Like, I don't anticipate that happening, but let's face it, there's a reason comedians have never won. It's just not grand. It's not big and grand and lights and spectacle. I don't know if you want to include that or not, but that's the truth. You know, it's just comedy's kind of just a guy and a mic and his words. You know, I just can't imagine. And if a comedian did win, I would think it would be somebody much bigger, much more high energy than me. Now, I don't know if you want that answer. I can give you another answer.
Yeah, go ahead.
But that's the true answer. But comedian has never won AGT, so if I won it, I think, you know, that would get some people talking. I think it would be pretty good in that regard. I think people would take notice of that.
And on your season, you didn't have Simon, you had Howard Stern.
I had Howard Stern on my season, so I'm slightly nervous about Simon, given that it's Simon. And, you know, we've all, well, I'm not going to say I grew up with Simon, because I was already in my 30s when he came around, but I've been with him a long time in terms of me watching him. So, you know, I know that Simon can be, you know, a little bit harsh, a little bit severe. So, yeah, that's, you know, and he gave my dear friend Tom Cotter an X, and Tom, you know, Tom, who came in second in his season, got an X. So, you know, that's a little bit disquieting, but in any case, we'll hopefully try to avoid that.
And what can you tell us about the act that you're doing today on Champions?
Well, I'm doing stand-up comedy, traditional stand-up comedy, just a man, a mic, and his jokes, and talking a bit about what's happened since I was here last, and about you know, about getting older from the last time that I was here, and any differences that have, you know, happened in my life. So that's going to be the theme of it, and you know, we'll see.
And last question, when you got the call to come back to Champions, what was your first reaction?
My first reaction, well, if you want the real answer, my first reaction was, I don't know. It's very stressful. Is Heidi coming back? You know, it's a stressful experience, you know, and I'm a stressy guy. So my first reaction was, let me think about it. And then my manager pushed and convinced me that it can't possibly be a negative thing. So I said yes. Awesome. I don't know if you want another answer, but that's the true answer.
Okay, so after being in the finals of Spain's Got Talent, can you tell us how your life has changed over the past few years?
It has changed a lot. I have been able to perform magic across Spain and also in big theaters for very important festivals. I have met amazing people, and it has been great.
And, you know, we were just talking about how, at least in America, there's so few women magicians. They're mostly men. Is it like that all over the world that you've noticed?
It is, but nowadays there are more and more female magicians coming up from everywhere. I think we're getting really excited about magic nowadays. Yeah.
And last year on America's Got Talent, the champions, a magician won, Shin Lim.
Yeah.
So maybe you can make it 2 years in a row?
Oh my God, that would be awesome.
What would that mean to you?
That would mean everything, like being, I mean, Shin Lim he put the bar very high, you know, and I think winning will mean like everything, you know. For me as a magician, to keep the magic alive that way, that would be amazing.
And the trick that you're performing tonight, how many hours and weeks have gone into it?
Oh my God, like I started this routine like 2 years ago.
Wow.
And I've been changing things and adding new things and rehearsing every day, a lot of hours.
Yeah, I bet. Because, I mean, it's not like a song where you could just pick a song and sing it. Like, you have
Exactly.
to construct everything basically from scratch. And who are your magicians that you look up to, like your mentors or your heroes?
Well, I have a few. I have a few that are my friends. Juan Esteban Varela from Chile is one of them. And then known magicians like David Blaine. He was one of the first magicians I saw on TV when I was little. And he was like, oh my God, so amazing. He still is. And also Paul Harris is like a master of magic for magicians.
So you wanted to be a magician since you were like a little girl?
Yeah, I saw a magician on TV. I don't remember his face. I just remember that he did a trick with the quick change of his assistant. And I remember what I felt in that moment. And that was a feeling that I wanted to share. And that's why I started like inventing my own tricks and doing to my friends. And yeah.
I saw you on Spain's Got Talent. You did the magic trick and the quick change, both in the same act.
Yeah.
And then there was a little girl, and she did it too.
Yeah.
So it's just like you're combining all of these different elements. It's very exciting as a viewer.
That was on the finals that I did stage magic. But in the first 2 rounds, the audition semifinals, I did just card magic. And just for the finals, I wanted to take a different direction.
Right. Because sometimes the judges, they love the close-up, but then they want you to go bigger as well.
Exactly, but in this case, it just didn't work.
Yeah.
But just because the magic I did with the cards went viral and everyone loved that. And I should have stayed with cards, you know, but I risk, and that's what happened in life. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but you have to risk.
Are you excited about Simon Cowell judging you?
So excited.
Yeah.
You have no idea. Like in Venezuela, we watched this show since I was like 13 years old, and I seen the show and remember Simon's face, and to see him in person, just to meet him in person and see him, it's going to bring me back memories, you know. And I always dream about being here, but never thought I could be here actually. You know. Like, it's crazy.
Because now you're going to be seen by a whole new audience in America.
Yeah.
So what would you like to say to your fans that have been following you for years and years?
Oh, thank you so much for your support, for being there despite all of the things that have happened, and for believing in me and in my magic. Thank you.
Okay, guys, so you were on last season of America's Got Talent, and now a year later, you've been invited to the Champions. So what was that moment like when you got the call back to be on this whole new experience?
We were really excited because on AGT, we got to the top 10, and we felt like we were so close to winning, and then we got cut. So we feel like now it's kind of our second chance to try again.
And after the show, you did the show in Vegas.
Yeah.
And what was that like to finally be on the Vegas Strip?
Oh, that was like a dream come true.
Yeah.
It was amazing. All the crowds, they were sold out every night. So supportive. It was really incredible.
Nice. And can you tell us anything about tonight's performance? I know you don't want to give it away, but can you tease something about what you're going to be doing?
So there's going to be, it's something that we have not performed live.
In front of anyone, ever.
Okay.
In front of anyone. No one has seen this. So that's going to be interesting. So yeah, I don't know what else I can say without giving it away.
Is it dangerous?
It's very dangerous.
Yes.
Very, very dangerous.
I know you guys loved the blindfold and the fire.
Yeah.
Can we expect more of that?
Yeah, you can expect more. Yes.
Okay, Eddie, so you just finished Australia's Got Talent, and now you've been invited to do Champions and the Americas version. What was your reaction when you got that phone call?
It's like being invited to the Olympics. It's the best of the best.
Yeah.
And to get invited by the birthplace of Got Talent, I still can't believe I'm here. I'm just, I'm very, very blessed and very honored to be here.
And you're so cool because you have two talents. You have the strongman talent and you have the singing talent. And I imagine some people in America that don't know your story are going to be surprised when you open your mouth to sing. What can you tell people that don't know your story?
I think it's a great story because people judge you by how you look, like, face value. And I love that because people see one thing and then get another thing, which is kind of, people look at it and go, oh, that's not that great. But then when you open your mouth or when when you show your talent, it's next level and you blow all the expectations out of the water.
And the song you've chosen tonight, what's the reasoning behind it? Is there a purpose for the song you've chosen?
I'm an ordinary guy that I just do the little things every day, and that makes me strong.
Okay, Hans, you're back on America's Got Talent. This time you're a champion. What does that feel like?
Marcus, I have to say, I think I'm here as the people's champion, darlings. In a world full of Meghan Markles, I come back to this competition as a Princess Diana.
Describe your look today.
Today, the look is, it's not often that both flora and fauna come together in an outfit. And that's what I want to give you. A little bit, I tell you what, this was a bitch to get through customs. I'll say that. I will say that. But I did it somehow. I did. I bribed the people, a little bit like Felicity Halfman, darlings. I just said, how much money do you want? And they let me go.
What was your reaction when you found out that you were going to come back on this special kind of spin-off show where they bring everyone from all different versions of Got Talent?
I've got to say it was an honor. I'm actually going to do something I don't do very often. I'm going to be humble. It was an absolute honor to be invited back because you are, you are here among the best of the best. We're all getting to know each other. It's a lovely little family we have going. And I think the other contestants look at me as, a mentor, I guess. They're looking up to me for advice, styling. And I'm just here to be, like the Bethlehem star, just guiding the way, darling.
What is your relationship like with Simon? I know there was some sexual tension.
Yes. Well, there was what tension?
Some sexual tension.
Sexual tension. Marcus, I know you could feel that through the screen, couldn't you, darlings? I will say it's painful when love is one-sided. I will say that. But, this is a second chance for me on the show, and it could be a second chance for Simon Cowell for the ride of his life.
So if he has regrets, you will take him back?
I don't know. I mean, ever since I've been on the TV now, I'm getting a lot of attention. I am, and I'm enjoying that. I'll do what I usually do. I'll let him sweat it out for about 5 minutes, and then I'll say, sure thing, it's on.
And Heidi's back, your BFF from Germany.
Baby. Thank God I'm not the only German supermodel back on this show again. Heidi Klum has returned, darlings. It's almost as if We are doing something that many Germans have failed to do in the past. We're taking over America.
What
You got that, Marcus?
We did. We got that on film.
Look at the horror on the publicist's face right now.
Can you tease anything about your performance that you're going to be doing today?
I think tonight I might just do a Got Talent favorite, and I think I'm gonna sing "I Dreamed a Dream."
Oh, like Susan Boyle.
Yes, I have a Susan Boyle quality about me actually, but I've never needed a makeover.
How has your life changed in the past couple of years since your stint on America's Got Talent?
You know what? I have now been performing all over the globe, darlings. I've performed across Europe, in the United Kingdom, darlings, and weirdly, in a place called Australia. I don't know what it is, but there are people, can you believe, that even believe that I might even be an Australian because I've spent so much time there, darlings. I have not been back to Germany. They shut the door on me. They said, you didn't win, you're not welcome back, but that's cool. I've moved on. It's okay. I'm totally fine with being rejected by my home country, as you can see.
And there's a new host since you've been on. It's
Yes.
Terry Crews. Have you met Terry yet? He's such an awesome guy.
I've not met Terry yet, but I have Googled him, and I am hoping that he takes his shirt off tonight, because I don't know if you visit the same sites I do. It's quite an image.
He does the peck dance.
He is spectacular.
Well, last question. If you happen to win America's Got
Yes.
Talent, the champions,
Yeah.
what would that mean to you?
If I won America's Got Talent, the champions, what's the prize money for this?
That's a good question.
It's nothing. What the hell am I even here for? Oh.
Okay, Jack, tell me what that moment was like when you won Australia's Got Talent.
When I won Australia's Got Talent, it's kind of all a blur for me. I just remember having so many mixed emotions of excitement, nerves, and just kind of in awe of the fact that I'd watched the show so many years growing up, and then I was that person that was standing on stage winning.
And you were, what, 14 or something?
Yeah, I was 14 when I won.
Do you have, I remember I cannot remember what I was doing when I was 14, but do you have, memory lapses? Like, when you watch a clip of yourself, you go, oh yeah, that happened.
Yeah, well, I feel like when you're 14, it's that age where everything is a blur, and you're kind of, all the things that you remember are the things that your family tells you. And for me, I guess it's watching YouTube videos back and watching the clips from the show back.
Mm-hmm. And tell us, what's the biggest change in your life in the past 7 or 8 years since you won?
Yeah, I guess the biggest change in the past 8 years has been going from a 14-year-old in school to then having a career and working full-time and doing what I love every day. But then after a couple of years, I did stop singing for a good chunk of time, 5 years, and just kind of went back to normality and just got some normal jobs. And then it's been over the last year really where I've started singing again.
And then you get the call to come on America's Got Talent, the champions, and some Americans may not know your story. And what do you hope that they learn by watching you perform on the show?
I'm excited for Americans to see, I guess, my story and what I've been through and kind of what's got me to where I am now, and kind of the journey of stopping singing and why that happened and why I'm singing again. And yeah, I really hope that resonates with some people.
And Simon Cowell is one of the judges. Does he make you nervous or excited or what? Because I would be so terrified to meet him in person.
Yeah, Simon Cowell is one of the judges, and I don't know, I've got this balanced feeling of super nervous and super excited. He's someone that I've watched growing up, and I've always wanted to sing for him and I guess impress him, so I'm really hoping that happens.
And can you tell us anything about your performance? Can you tease it, the one that you're going to do on Champions?
What can I say about my performance? I guess all I can say about my performance is it's a very emotional song for me, and I have a very deep connection with the song, and yeah, I'm really hoping I get through it without being overwhelmed with emotion.
And I imagine some winners don't want to come back. They don't want to have the pressure again. So what made you decide to say yes?
I feel like I like the pressure of having won Australia's Got Talent and then coming into kind of the unknown in another country and giving it a shot at the champions. Like after Australia's Got Talent, my voice broke and I kind of have a completely new voice now. So I've had to retrain over the years. So I'm excited about that.
Nice. And if you happen to win champions, what would that mean to you?
I just feel like winning champions would be a huge personal achievement and such affirmation. And I guess kind of it'll show myself and show other people that if you fight, you can achieve what you want to achieve.
And final question, is there anything you'd like to say to your fans that may be watching this?
I guess to anyone that has watched me on AGT and is a fan, just thank you so much and that I love you. And yeah, thank you so much for your support and love.
Okay, Junior Creative, last year you won Myanmar's Got Talent. Now you're here on America's Got Talent, the champions. How excited are you to get the call to come here to America?
Well, we're more than excited.
Yeah.
Because honestly, we've never been to America, and this is our first time here, and we're performing here abroad for the first time as well. So this is like a big thing for us.
And what do you think of America as first timers?
Well, I would say the weather's really chilly because where we came from, the weather is a little bit warmer than here. So we're like, oh, it's very cool here.
That's funny. I was just saying how hot it was today.
Oh, we're very comfortable here.
Yeah.
Not that warm.
And how has your life changed in the past year after winning?
Well, after Myanmar's Got Talent, we have our own dance studio. That's the biggest change. And we got to work together with the UNICEF in our country and also get to perform in the parliament, which is a big deal for us too.
Wow. And what are the ages of your group? It's like 17?
Between 16 and 24.
Wow, okay. And for tonight, is there something you can tell us about the performance you're going to be giving on Champions?
Well, we're not going to tell you in details, but it's a very emotional and very moving story that we took inspiration from a real girl that we met during our volunteer trip with the UNICEF. It was actually from our country. It was about a girl living in the internally displaced people's camp. She was around 8 or 9 years old when she was displaced from her village because of the armed conflicts. And then she's now over 20 years old. She's still living there. She shared her stories. And then we got inspired and we want to give some messages and something hopeful for those who are in unfortunate situations than us.
And growing up, are you aware of Simon Cowell? Is he somebody that you watch on your TVs in your country?
Well, I'm glad that you asked because we've watched America's Got Talent before, and Simon was he's a tough judge.
Yeah.
We're always looking forward to meet him. Now we get to meet him tonight. So,
some people are scared, some people are very excited. So where are you on that range?
Both.
Yeah. Are you worried he's going to either X you or golden buzzer you, or like is it going to be something in between, or?
Well, we're looking forward for the positive comments from him because it's like a validation for us.
Yeah. And how many members of your group?
16.
16, wow.
The youngest just finished high school.
That's amazing. Well, if you could say anything to your fans that are watching, what would you like to say?
Well, keep looking forward for us, love us more, and follow our journey together.
Okay, Mike, so you were on America's Got Talent a few years ago.
Yeah.
You just got the call back to be on Champions. What was that moment like when you found out you were invited back?
Well, first of all, I didn't believe it until they called me direct. They got my number from one of my managers. So then it was true. So now it's back to excitement again.
Yeah.
Because they treat you so well. I mean, just the staff alone. You know what I mean? Everybody ain't a star. So they treat you like a star. You understand?
Yeah.
And when I went to the semifinals last time, some of the staff said, you were supposed to win. And, you know, and if anybody know anything about doing this for 30-something years, is that being seen by 15 million people, it's a win-win situation. So for somebody to call you and say, hey, you can be seen again by 10 or 15 million people, that's God.
And this time you're not just a contestant, you're a champion.
Right.
I love the concept.
They said, we're calling you back because you went to the semifinals, and it's the best of the best.
From all over the world too.
From
You're competing against Australia, Australia's Got Talent people, Norway's Got Talent.
London's Got Talent.
Yeah, it's so exciting.
Definitely.
Well, tonight's performance, I know you can't give me, you can't tell me the song, but tell me about why you chose whatever song you've chosen.
Well, I can tell you a little bit about what's going on. Some people go their whole life and never get to live out their dream, So I'm doing a song that lets you evaluate your dream and let you know that you got to believe in your dream. And that's all I'm gonna say.
After the show ended, your season, how did your life change in the year or so after that? I imagine you got recognized a ton.
Well, I'm still getting recognized.
Yeah.
And that's a good feeling. And before I even left California, I got a call from Netflix to do Motown Madness. That was a cartoon produced by Smokey Robinson. I've done numerous shows. I went on tour. I did 14 countries in Europe and about 20 states in the United States. So my life changed. And my tour is, Mike Young says, never give up. That's the name of my tour. And I have a lot of important people around me. I met a young guy named Martin Garris. He's one of the famous DJ producers in the world. And me and him did a song together. So there's it was a ride uphill, and the hill's not stopping. Being famous doesn't mean fortune, but as long as you never give up, it's only a matter of time.
You sang that song in the semifinals, "Don't Give Up on Me,"
Yeah.
and that was such a brilliant song choice. And
Yeah.
I think that was your strongest performance. And I was so bummed when you didn't make it to the end.
But what happened? The song was strong, and I went up against an amazing young lady who sung two puppets without moving her lips. So she was my, she was my America's Got Talent. Because for a singer to be going up against another singer, that's just, that's the way it goes.
Right.
For a singer to be going to get somebody who can sing three different puppets and don't move her lips, she was my American Idol. My America's Got Talent. So I don't feel I lost. I feel she won.
Okay, Paddy and Nico, tell me what it was like to get the phone call that they wanted you to come on to America's Got Talent, the Champions.
Well, it was Nico that got the phone call.
Yes, like a dream. It's fantastic. And they told me, you go to America. Yes, it's great.
Yeah.
And we are very happy and very excited, very nervous too.
Yeah.
But it's great.
Yes, I agree with Nico. It's a great experience and good to be here.
And what can you tell us about what you're performing tonight? How many hours and days went into your performance?
Now, all days we are doing the performance.
Yeah.
And, all days rehearsing, and we can't rehearse many hours to get continuous because he have 85 years.
Yeah.
But we can do 1 hour and stop, rest half hour, and after 1 hour more or 1.5. But it's a hard job, hard work. Yes.
My age does limit what I would like to do more, you know, but then suddenly I think, oh my goodness, no. And Nico is extremely considerate, so that's the main thing.
And so people in Spain, France, Europe, they know your story, but for American audiences, what can you tell us about how long you've been dancing together as a duo?
Oh yes, we have 16 years together. Yes, she came to my academy to explain.
Yes,
please.
I went to live in Spain, and unfortunately my husband died quite soon after we arrived. So I went back to what had been my original enjoyment, which was dancing, and went to Nico's academy. And after a few nights there, he asked me how much I weighed, and cuánto kilos, and I thought, well, this is very strange. And then a couple of nights later, I found out, and that's the end of the story. I then found out that it was salsa acrobatica, which I really didn't know anything about at the time.
And whose idea was it to do the original audition for the Got Talent franchise?
I think
from England. You.
Oh, from England?
You.
Oh yes, it was probably. You know, I was probably contacted regarding that.
And were you nervous back then? Do you remember what you were feeling?
Well, I'm nervous about every audition, really.
Yeah.
You know, you can't say no. But to be back in England was really very good.
And Simon Cowell, he's been a champion of your guys' for a long time. Are you excited to see him tonight on the judges panel?
Yes, I'm going to be quite surprised, because when we danced together the first time, we did a different routine. And the first part was very, very slow, you see, which he didn't really understand why it was like that. So he pressed
the X,
button, you see, and looked at us. And anyway, later he sort of apologized for it. And that was that. We've been on good terms ever since.
It's good because we do the choreography to do a surprise, and we get to do the surprise. And it's the first time that they do the one press button red and golden buzzer press 2. It's the same. It's the same. Time.
So
Yeah.
we got both. We've got the golden buzzer. Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, what happens if you guys win this competition? Where do you go from here?
Well, we're already going to France.
After here?
No, yes, we're already booked to go to another.
Yes, we are all to France in November.
Yes.
So you're not giving up. You're going to keep dancing.
Oh no. Oh, Nico has an academy, and I'm certainly not giving up unless he says you're finished.
No.
He would never say that.
No. At the moment, she can do all, and she are very. When I dance with her, I feel that she can do many things, more things than you see.